We're going to start by reading Matthew chapter 18, verses 6 through 9 on night 351. This is Jesus speaking and warning against temptation. Starting in verse 6, it says, "If anyone causes one of these little ones, those who believe in me, to stumble, it would be better for them to have a large millstone hung around their neck and to be drowned in the depths of the sea. Woe to the world because of the things that cause people to stumble. Such things must come, but woe to the person through whom they come. If your hand or your foot causes you to stumble, cut it off and throw it away. It is better for you to enter life maimed or crippled, to have 2 hands or 2 feet and be thrown into the eternal fire. And if your eye causes you to stumble, gouge it out and throw it away. It is better for you to enter life with 1 eye than to have 2 eyes and be thrown into the fire of hell." And that might sound harsh from Jesus, but if it goes back to what I've said many times, there's 2 variables to temptation. It has to be a weakness, because you can't be tempted by something that you don't have a proclivity or you don't have an interest in. So again, first variable of temptation is it's got to be a weakness. The second one is it's got to be available. And if something's causing you to sin there, the lesson in that is get rid of it. Because if you don't have it anymore, if you truly burn the ships and you don't give yourself an outlet to go to the things that are tempting you, then in theory you can't be tempted by something that you don't have access to. And I think that's kind of what Jesus is getting at. Let's see what the Application Study Bible has to say about specifically verses 8 and 9. It says, "We must remove stumbling blocks that cause us to sin. This does not mean to cut off a part of the body. It means that any person, program, or teaching in the church that threatens the spiritual growth of the body must be removed. For the individual, any relationship, practice, or activity that leads to sin should be stopped. Jesus says it would be better to go to heaven with 1 hand than to hell with both. Sin, of course, affects more than our hands. It affects our minds and hearts." Let's also talk about verse 7 specifically in the Application Study Bible. To go back to verse 7, Jesus specifically said, "Woe to the world because of the things that cause people to stumble. Such things must come, but the person who they come to, to the person through whom they come. If your hand or foot causes you to stumble, cut it off, throw it away." And that gets into verse 8. But specifically there in verse 7, Jesus, it says in the Application Study Bible, warned the disciples about the 2 ways to cause little ones to sin: tempting them and neglecting or demeaning them. Those were the 2 ways. It says here, as leaders, we are to help young people who are believers avoid anything or anyone that could cause them to stumble in their faith and lead them to sin. We must never take lightly the spiritual education and protection of those young in age or young in the steps of their faith. That's what I've got tonight. If you've got something in your life that you're struggling with temptation-wise, cut it off, throw it away. Don't give yourself even the option to return back to it. That's what burning your ships is all about. It goes back to what I have tattooed on me. It goes back to day 5 of this entire series. The only way to take the island is to burn the ship you came in on. Don't allow yourself to sail back into comfort. I think that was pretty fitting with only 14 days left in this series. Day 351.